Hello everyone and welcome to a review. Today we're looking at the very first Jurassic World Rebirth figure I've gotten, and I'm quite excited for this. Today I found at Walmart that they had finally put out some Rebirth stuff. They actually had quite a bit. They had the Mosasaurus, the small one, like the smallish one. It's not like tiny, but like small Mosasaurus. You know, the one that pukes. They had the Utahraptor, Maiasaura, Baryonyx, the red one that's kind of boring. They may have had more, but that's all I remember. So, I was really disappointed because they didn't have the Quetz, and I really wanted the Quetz. It was the thing I wanted the most out of all of them. They had a place for it, so I thought, okay, maybe other Walmarts have this in stock. But then I went to the last Walmart and they did have one of these left, so I took my chance and snatched this. I haven't been excited for a Mattel figure in a long time. I must say they've done a pretty good job on the Rebirth line. I'm actually really happy with it. They've done a really good job at presenting the figures in their boxes really well as just making the figures look really nice, and both as a fun and good looking figure and also just a fun toy. A lot of them have really fun action features, so they can both appeal to the kids and collectors. So I think that they've done it really well, and overall most of the figures in the line are really cool. I mean, I'm not going to get most of them, but the ones that I am going to get are really nice, and I'm really happy with the way they were done. Very happy with the line overall. We're not talking about the Archaeornithomimus. I don't want to talk about it. It doesn't exist. It shouldn't exist. It should never exist. I want to throw it into an active volcano. Okay, yeah, not talking about that. Let's take a look at this Quetzalcoatlus. I really like the packaging on the Rebirth stuff. I'm not sure what it is about it. I just think it looks kind of cool. It's just got a fun design. You got a little, like, picture of the Quetz down here with the Rebirth logo and all the other stuff. We turn it around. We have some more, like, demonstrations of its action features and stuff. Yeah, let's just go ahead and get this out of the box. Alright, so this is the Quetzalcoatlus out of the box, and I am super happy with this figure. I have not been so happy with a Mattel figure in such a long time. Well, a mainline figure, that is. Because, I mean, the Hammond collection, I'm pretty impressed with the Hammond collection, but a mainline figure, this is really good. Of course, this is the next day, so I have had some time to play around with it, and, you know, it's time for me to say my thoughts on this. The figure overall is just really, really nice. The detail is, you know, about average, what you would expect for a mainline Mattel figure. It's nothing too crazy, it's nothing insane, but, you know, it's good enough. Yeah, it's really nice. I really do like this figure. The articulation is really good on it, especially for a pterosaur. So, for example, if I bring in the most recent Quetzalcoatlus, but not this one, like, we have the Dominion Quetzalcoatlus, and, you know, this one, it just doesn't have very much articulation. Really, all you have is you have the legs that move. You've got the wings, if you really want to count this, but they got super floppy over time and loose, and yeah, they're absolutely trash. You also have the neck joint, which barely does anything but swivel. So, I mean, it's not the greatest, and it's super annoying to display. That's why I've just had them sitting in a bin forever. But this one has potential for actually being good to stand, and I'll show you right now what it does. Are you ready for this? I mean, you probably already know, but look at that. It can stand. It can stand like a real Quetzalcoatlus can. I mean, not like a real Quetzalcoatlus. It's not entirely accurate, but it's a toy. I don't expect it to be 100% accurate, especially since it's a Jurassic World toy. It's good enough for what it is. The sculpt, however, is pretty nice, if we're going to go over that. I haven't watched the movie, because of course it hasn't come out yet. From what the trailers show, this looks pretty accurate, I would say. There are some things that I think are missing, like color-wise. I think there should be some blue on the face, if I'm remembering correctly. But, you know, overall, I think it captures the Quetzalcoatlus pretty well. Of course, there are some things, like the feet, they are not accurate to an actual Quetzalcoatlus. But, again, it's Jurassic World. I don't really need to go over and correct it because it's going to be wrong. It's not supposed to be accurate, so I don't really care. As for, like, you know, going over the articulation, I guess I should do that. It has a joint on the base of its skull, which can be used to move up and down and swivel slightly. It kind of just moves side to side. You also have a joint on the base of the neck, which doesn't do a lot, but I guess it's nice that it's included. And, of course, we have the hands, which actually are articulated. I think this is the first time that's ever happened, but that's pretty fun, I guess. And then, of course, finally we have the legs, which, in my opinion, are probably the best legs of any pterosaur. They're really nice joints, and the feet also have joints in them, so you can swivel them and pose them however you want. And I think that's really fun. Quetzalcoatluses usually have pretty good joints. I think the best, well, no, this one gets a little loose, but the Dominion one had just kind of weird leg joints. I don't really know how to explain it. They're just weird. They're not really high quality, and they get kind of loose over the time, especially the Dino Rivals one has gotten a bit loose. These look like actual leg joints that you would see on like one of the theropod figures. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Action features, there's only 2, which, I mean, do you really count this as an action feature? I don't know, but yeah, of course you have the cool wings that fold down, and you got a button on the back to release them. Sometimes it's only 1 for some reason, but it's really satisfying to do. Like, if I get it to release all at once. Like, look at that. Do you hear that sound? Listen to this. Wow, isn't that just the most satisfying thing you've ever heard? And then, of course, we also have the button on the top here, which activates the roar. But yeah, it opens its mouth. The sculpting on the mouth is actually really good. The tongue is actually has a wavy look to it, like it's screaming at something. So that's pretty fun, instead of just having it flat on the mouth like this one is. So it's pretty fun, actually. It has a much shorter tongue than the other Quetzalcoatluses. I think that's kind of interesting. Yeah, I'm really impressed by this figure. It's really fun, but there are some downsides to it. And one of the big downsides, which I'll show you right now, is if I try to put it on the table, its wing will fold out. It does not lock, and it's specifically the left wing that always pops out. It's the right one it locks into place, like it has a sound when it clicks into place. It sounds like it's actually locking, and every time I try to put it on the table, the left wing just flies out, and it doesn't seem like it's as secure in there as the right one is. So I don't know why that's an issue. I really hope they improve upon this, because I've seen at least one other review where this is an issue. Of course, there are some ways to get around this. You just have to put it in like the perfect position. You have to fold everything down just right to where most of the body's weight is on the back feet. So it's not putting any pressure on the wings there. See, it's actually working, kind of. It seems fairly stable. Like, I can, well, I guess it wasn't. But I have gotten it in a position that seems pretty stable. And it wasn't, like, falling over when I touched it. But, yeah, this is really annoying. And it definitely poses a risk when putting it on the shelf. Because if it does that on the shelf, and there's things next to it, things are going to fly off the shelf and possibly get broken, which is a huge deal because I don't want anything broken, and my shelves are really high up. So I don't know if I might be able to put like a rubber band or something around the wings, maybe. might be able to do that, possibly to keep them in. But yeah, it's just a little bit of a disappointment because I was really excited for this figure. But the fact that it doesn't stand is really, really disappointing. I wish they had done something more like the Kenner Quetzalcoatlus here. So you can see it has this little thing at the end, which clicks into the body here, and it's locked in. You can't get it out. You have to press the button to release it. So I don't know why they didn't do this. I mean, I'm not a toy designer, so maybe they tried and they couldn't, but I feel like they could make it so that you have to push the button to release the wings instead of just having them kind of click in there. Maybe more like a locking mechanism in there, so it's locked in this position until you press the button. Not just my solution. Of course, like I said, I'm not a toy designer, so maybe that's not possible with this figure, but I really like this. I'm not saying it's a bad feature. I just think it needs some improvement. I cannot stress enough how much I love this figure. I don't know why. I was not expecting to like this figure that much. I knew I would like it. I just didn't know I would fall in love with it because, man, is this figure so cool. I love pterosaurs. They're awesome. There's just not many good figures of them, and I was not expecting for Jurassic World, Mattel of all things, to make a pterosaur figure this good. Of course, I know it's not accurate, but it's just the foldable wings, the customization ability, what am I word I'm looking for? The customization ability of this figure is insane. I just immediately saw this figure when it was revealed and thought that would be so cool to make like a prehistoric planet Hatzegopteryx custom out of, because besides the fabric wings, you could modify all the parts to make it look like that, except maybe the feet. The feet could be a little bit of a challenge because they're not accurate. But I mean, if you don't care about the feet and you just want to modify the head, I think it'd be pretty easy to just, you know, add some stuff to its face, make it look more like a Hatzegopteryx, paint it. For the wings, I don't know, like, if you're wanting just a Hatzegopteryx, you could kind of mix the wings into the color scheme you're making. I don't know. I just think it would be really fun to make a custom out of, and I really want to get another one to do that, because it's such an awesome toy, and it's such a fun figure to look at. I'm so blown away by how good it is. There are some things, of course, that I'm a little disappointed about, because of course the wings not being able to lock is a little annoying, and you know, the sculpt, it's got this weird little bubbly looking thing at the end of it's really rounded. It's not pointy like the other Quetzalcoatlus. Like, I'll bring in the Dino Rivals one because it's the best. You see, it's pointy, but it's not sharp. So that is something that this figure just, it looks weird. It does not look right. But yeah, the fabric wings seem really high quality. In fact, I could say they're possibly even better than the Kenner Quetzalcoatlus's wings. This fabric is just, it's a little more flexible, it's a little more stretchy, and it tends to curl around the edges. It's really thin and see-through. But this has all the color on it, and it's more of a non-flexible material. It's more stiff, so it's not going to curl, and I think it will probably hold up to time better. But I don't know, maybe that is just me liking this figure, and maybe it will disintegrate, because who knows, that could happen. That very well could happen. I don't know. This figure has just made me happy, and I don't know why, but I have not felt this way for a Mattel figure in so long. I don't know, something going into the stores, trying to find one, seeing all of them in the box. The boxes, I don't know, they look really good. I like the way they've been designed, and in the stores, like, it just made me feel like a 7-year-old going into Toys R Us again. You know, maybe not to that extent, but it was special. I don't know what it was, but it made me really happy. It just brought me so much joy to find this figure, the last one in the store, and I got it. It was just, I don't know, it's something special about it, and I don't know, if you don't share the same like happiness and excitement towards this figure, I can completely understand, because it's not like the craziest thing in the world. It's not like it's a BOTM figure. It's not high quality. It's not super articulated. It's not super accurate. It's just a Jurassic World figure, and everyone's going to have a different opinion on it, and I don't know why this figure has just made me so happy seeing it and just having it. It's just something about it, and I don't know how to explain it. It's such a nice figure, and it's something that I've been wanting, the foldable wings. It's probably just the foldable wings. If this thing didn't have foldable wings, I'd probably not care at all about it. Oh yeah, and there's another really fun thing you can do with this figure. So, you know, I was just messing around with it, being silly, and I wondered, could I be able to pose it in a way that it's just kind of T-posing? And you can actually make it balance on its hind legs only, and it looks hilarious, but it actually kind of looks cool. Here, if I can just get it balanced perfectly, I can show you without it touching the wall. It's very difficult. Well, it's not difficult, but yeah, okay, it's gonna stay. I think it's gonna stay. Look at that. It is not touching the wall, and it's not touching anything else. It is just standing there, and I thought that was hilarious, but it actually kind of looks cool. If you think about it, you could pose it in like a display where it's like warding off predators from its nest, and it's like doing this big distraction display, intimidation display. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. But of course, it's not the most stable. Like, if anything touches it, it will fall down. It will eventually just fall down on its own, like you've just seen there. So if you really wanted to put it in this pose here, I found a way where you could. If I get a BOTM stand, one of these adjustable stands, and you put it on the stand, and you get one of these, one of this type of, whatever they're called, the tops of the stand, you can just kind of rest the figure onto it, and it actually holds it. Somehow the weight is distributed just perfectly that this little tiny plastic stand can hold up this big figure. A bigger stand would probably work better, but this is all I have, and it works, and I'm actually kind of impressed that it does. So I thought this was really funny, but actually kind of cool at the same time. Kenner has been dethroned. There's a new ruler of Quetzalcoatlus figures. But of course, for a size comparison, here are all the Quetzalcoatlus figures from the main lines of either Jurassic Park or Jurassic World, whatever they are. We have, of course, the Kenner Quetzalcoatlus. Firebeak is its specific name. We have the Jurassic World Dominion version. We also have the Dino Rivals version. And of course, the star of the show, the new Jurassic World Rebirth, Aerial Ambush Quetzalcoatlus. I think that's what it's called. I forgot to say it in the beginning, but that is what it is. And man, is it just awesome. I love it so much. I don't know how many times I'm going to say that, but expect me to say it lots more, because that's just how much I like this figure. But as you can see, it is substantially bigger than the previous Quetzalcoatluses. If I bring in the Dominion one, as you can see, just for a wingspan, this figure is a little bit bigger. I don't have a measuring tape, but you know, you'll just have to judge it off of the size of these Quetzalcoatluses. I will bring some other figures in as well, but for now we just have these. These two are about the same size, so you know they're going to be around the same size and wingspan. And then of course we have, I think this was Kenner Quetzalcoatlus, which I believe is it has a bigger wingspan than the Mattel versions. It's actually almost just a few inches off from being around the same size as the new Rebirth one, which is really interesting. But the Rebirth one overall is bigger, it's heavier, and it is longer. It's got a longer neck, and it just kind of fatter than this one. So this one is a skinny, weirdo looking thing. If we're talking about a different pterosaur, we have a standard, you know, regular sized, larger pteranodon. So we've got this one here. For size comparison, if you are curious about that, you can see it is quite a bit bigger than the average pteranodon figure. I don't have a pteranodon, a smaller pteranodon. I'm not going to dig one out, but I do have a Pterosaur, which is about the same size as the smaller pteranodons. So as you can see, it's a very big figure. For a size comparison for some dinosaurs, we have one of the about average size T-Rexes, just like the extreme chomping version. So they're around the same like size. I mean, they're of course very different shapes, but you know, they're very large figures. They're about the same height. Yeah, so this thing will stand again. Oh yeah, one more pterosaur size comparison. I thought it would be fun to bring in the largest non-Quetzalcoatlus pterosaurs. Of course, this is around the same size. I'm pretty sure it shares the almost exact same sculpt as the JP3 pteranodons. Yeah, I think it was just JP3, right? They didn't have the same sculpt for the last world. I don't know. But yeah, this is the Tapajara, sorry, from JP3. So they're actually not that different. If we look at the wingspan, they're actually kind of similar, I believe. I can get this up here. They're actually about the same size. No, actually no. I mean, it's still one of the biggest of the non-Quetzalcoatlus pterosaurs. I think this one has a bigger wing. Yeah, this one has a bigger wingspan. I don't know. I just thought this one was bigger, but it's not. And of course, no size comparison is complete without a Mattel Velociraptor. Well, that will conclude this review on the Jurassic World Rebirth Aerial Ambush Quetzalcoatlus. I really do hope you enjoyed this review. It was a little bit different style than I normally do. I'm trying out some different things, and I just thought it would be fun. Just start it with the Quetzalcoatlus, the first Rebirth figure that I've gotten. So yeah, stay around. Maybe we'll have some more reviews coming in the future. I'm still behind, but maybe I won't review them anyway. I don't know. I've got a few BOTM figures I need to review. But yeah, that is the Quetz. I hope you enjoy. I thoroughly enjoyed this figure, and I would totally recommend it to anyone who really likes pterosaurs. And I just love the fact that it actually has foldable wings. I really hope Mattel improves upon this feature and continues with it and implements it in future pterosaurs, because it just makes them 10 times better. Because before, the pterosaur figures, you know, they were okay, but they're not really anything fun or exciting, and they're super hard to display. So that's one of my big issues with them, and I'm so glad they fixed it with this figure. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.